Hello yogins, so welcome back, and I'm back with another power yoga sequence for you. And in this class we work our way up toward standing splits, and this helps with our flexibility and our balance in the legs. We do the bird dog for core and back strength primarily, and then Titibhasana for the upper body strength and also again for our flexibility. Hope you get something from this class, and if you do, please give me a thumbs up. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. That really does help me out. And same with the comments. If you enjoyed a certain particular pose or found something particularly challenging or you have a question for me, I would love to hear from you. Even if you just want to say hello, that helps as well. All right, so enjoy this class and I'll see you on the other side. Namaste. All right, so find a comfortable seat. Sit tall, but let your brow, lips, jaw, shoulders all relax. Close your eyes. And just allow yourself to really come into the moment. We come into the moment by not resisting what is. So however you're feeling, see if you can create space for that. Giving yourself permission to feel whatever it is that you're feeling, to think whatever thoughts you might be thinking, without judgment or manipulation. Know that you have the capacity to fully experience the full range of what is possible for a human being to experience. So give yourself permission to feel all that you feel right now. Notice that if you choose to, you can feel your breath. The sensations of breathing in and out. Allow yourself to tune into and to feel these sensations fully. If there are other thoughts and distractions, other sensations, just allow them to be there. Again, know that you have the capacity to experience all of this. Now begin to deepen your breathing. With your next inhalation, fill first your belly, then the ribs, and then allow the upper chest to lift up at the top of your inhalation. As you exhale, reverse this. Upper chest, ribs, and belly pull in toward the spine. Breathe very deeply but silently. This is called Dirga. Once you've established this deep 3-part Dirga breath, begin to add a soft sound at the throat, like you're fogging a mirror but with your mouth closed. This is called Ujjayi. The two techniques together should create a very smooth and even rhythmic breath. Be sure that the inhales and the exhales are the same length and that you're breathing in and out through your nose. With the next exhalation, transition to tabletop position. Begin cat-cow. On the inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, and lift the crown of the head. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the back, and tuck the chin. Moving back and forth with the intention of warming up the spine, back, and torso muscles. After you've done a few repetitions back and forth, you may want to move a little more freely. And then tucking the toes and lifting the hips, coming up and back into downward dog. In a similar manner, in downward dog, you might pedal back and forth a few times to stretch the back of the legs. And after a few repetitions, you might roll over the toes, circle the ankles, bend the knees, or even kick the legs into the air. All with the intention of warming up and waking up the lower part of your body, the lower extremity, the legs. Once you feel you've done this, come into your full expression of downward facing dog. In downward dog, have your hands shoulder width, fingers spread wide, palms firmly planted in the ground, chest actively drawing toward the toes, and feet or heels actually reaching toward the ground. With your next exhalation, walk your feet toward your hands, coming into ragdoll. In ragdoll, you might grab the opposite elbow, nod your head or shake your head. Sway your hips or bend your knees. Gently stretching the back side of your body. Then with your arms relaxed on an inhalation, gradually roll up to standing, stacking ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels. With the feet touching on an inhalation, draw the arms up, touch the palms, and lift the heart. Lengthening from your pubic bone through your chin. If there is any pain in your neck, then keep your chin tucked. On the next inhalation, coming through center, and as you exhale, coming into the forward fold or Uttanasana. With the next inhalation, come to your fingertips or take hands to the shins as you lengthen your spine. As you exhale, plant the hands and step to the top of a push-up for plank pose. In plank, be sure that the wrists are directly below your shoulders and that your shoulders are active. Place the hips directly between the shoulders and the heels, neither lifting them too high nor dropping them too low. Take a deep breath in, drop your knees, and with the next exhalation, try and lower down halfway, bending the elbows to a right angle. Take a breath here and feel the elbows hugging your ribs. With the next exhalation, lower the rest of the way down. And as you inhale, press your feet and hands into the mat as you lift your head, neck, chest, and upper abdomen for Cobra. In Cobra, let your neck be a natural extension of the spine. With an exhalation, come down, tuck toes, and press back to tabletop and then downward facing dog. Take a breath or two in downward dog. With your next inhalation, come to the toes, and as you exhale, step, jump, or float to the front edge of your mat. Inhale again to standing back bend, and then grabbing the right wrist, as you exhale, pull yourself over into half moon or Ardha Chandrasana. Feel the area from your right hip through your right wrist and try and lengthen this part of your body. With the next inhalation, come back through center, switch wrists, and as you exhale, come over to the other side. With each inhalation, try and lengthen your body even more, and with each exhalation, allow yourself to explore the depth of your pose. Inhale, return to center, and as you exhale, release into forward fold. Inhale to half lift, and exhale to the top of a push-up. This time, decide whether you'd like knees up or down. Knees up is about 30% more difficult. So if you have trouble doing push-ups, it's much better to drop the knees and bend the arms deeply than it is to keep the knees up but hardly bend the arms at all. Let's take a nice deep breath, and as we exhale, we're going to lower down halfway. Once again, the elbows hug the ribs. With an inhalation, we straighten the arms and the legs for upward facing dog. The knees should be off the ground and the legs are actually active. As we exhale, we pull both feet in simultaneously as we draw our hips up and back to downward facing dog. Once again, in downward dog, take a few slow, deep, rhythmic breaths. Then inhale, come to the toes, and with your exhale, make your way to the front edge of your mat once again. Inhale, standing back bend, and exhale to half moon. Inhale back to center, and exhale to the other side. Inhale back to center, and exhale to chair pose, Utthita, also known as awkward pose. In awkward pose, we want to feel our legs getting tired. The best way to do this is keep your knees over your heels as you sink your hips down. At the same time, we'd like to keep a sense of openness in our chest and belly. So try looking up instead of down and keep your arms back, framing your ears. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, release into forward fold. Inhale to half lift, and as you exhale, step, jump, or float to the bottom of a push-up if you are able. Inhale again to upward facing dog, and if you can, on your exhalation, put a push-up in on your way back to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths. In downward dog, let's bring our feet to touch, and we'll inhale our right leg up and back for a three-legged dog pose. In three-legged dog, we like the foot flex, the toe, knee, and hip pointing straight toward the ground. The right leg is straight and lifted as high as we can, but the right hip stays down. A common mistake in this posture is to lift the hip as we try and lift the leg higher. Let's take a deep breath, and as we exhale, lunge. Dropping the hips as far forward and down as possible and placing the right heel under the knee. With the next inhalation, lift up to Anjaneyasana, or low lunge pose. You should feel a stretch at the front of your left hip and maybe a little bit of gentle compression in your back. Feel that same sense of openness in the chest and the belly. Take a deep breath in and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, bring your feet to touch and inhale the left leg up and back. Again, try and do your best to get into three-legged dog pose with proper alignment. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, place the foot between the hands and inhale to low lunge pose, stretching the front of your right hip. Take a deep breath and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, take a deep breath and exhale to tabletop position or hands and knees. Be sure the wrists are directly below your shoulders and your knees are directly below your hips. With the next inhalation, straighten the right leg out, but keep the toes on the ground. Be very careful to not lift or drop the hip as you do that. With the next exhalation, draw the leg back in, and then inhale the left leg out. Exhale, draw it back in. Continue alternating sides with each breath, and imagine that you have a cup of tea resting on your pelvis. If you should lift or drop the hips at all, some of the tea will spill. So do this exercise with the intention of keeping the pelvis as steady as possible as you move the legs. Finish up with the left leg behind you, and then either go straight back to down dog or you can vinyasa back. From downward dog, let's inhale to our toes as we fill the lungs, and exhale to the front edge of the mat. Inhale up to standing, and then exhale the hands straight out in front of you. This is called the drinking bird. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, bend over, touch the ground, and lift your right leg up and back behind you like we did in the three-legged dog pose. Then inhale, come back up to standing. Exhale, repeat that same movement, lifting the right leg, and then inhale back up. Do a few more coordinated with the breath. Now, switch sides. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, send the left leg behind you. Feel the stretch in the back of the right thigh, and then inhale, come back up. Repeat 5 more times. Good. With the next inhalation, take a standing back bend. And as you exhale, release into forward fold. Inhale to half lift, or if you know this pose, crow pose, Bakasana, you can insert it here. Exhale, step, jump, or float to the bottom of a push-up. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale, push up, tabletop, or straight back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, bring your feet to touch. Inhale the right leg up and back. As you exhale, touch the right knee as high up on the right arm as you are able, and take a breath. Now inhale, lift the leg up and back, and exhale as you lunge. Inhale to low lunge, and then exhale to Ardha Trikonasana, half triangle. Place the hips directly over the left knee. The right leg should be as straight as you can get it. The right foot is flexed and the toes and knee point straight toward the ceiling. Place the hands on the ground or perhaps on 2 blocks as you fold over your right leg, stretching the back of the right thigh. As you inhale, come back to low lunge pose and then exhale to the bottom of a push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, bring feet to touch and inhale the left leg up and back. Exhale, touch the knee as high up on the left arm as you can, keeping the foot off the ground, and take a breath. Inhale that leg up and back, and exhale as you lunge. Inhale to low lunge, and exhale to half triangle. Close your eyes and breathe into the sensation in the back of your left thigh. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, plank pose, making your way back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, release to tabletop. With the next inhalation, draw the right leg up and back, and this time lift it off the ground, keeping the leg straight but the hip down, just like three-legged dog pose. Exhale, draw that leg back in, and inhale the opposite leg up. Exhale, bringing it in and alternating with each breath. As before, try and be very mindful of the pelvis and the hips. Try and avoid lifting the hips as you lift the leg. This is called basic bird dog pose. Finish lifting the left leg behind you, and then vinyasa or go straight back to the downward facing dog. From downward dog, with the next inhalation, come to your toes and look between your hands. As you exhale, step, jump, or float to the front edge of your mat. Inhale all the way to standing back bend. Exhale, hands to your hips. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Shift your weight to your left foot and bend the right knee. Then lift the right leg up and grab the shin with your right hand. If you can comfortably maintain balance here, and you're flexible enough, try and reach down and grab either the big toe or the outside edge of the foot. Once you have the toe or the foot, once again, stand tall. If possible, with the next exhalation, extend the right leg out as straight as possible. The stretch should be felt in the back of the right thigh and not your low back. If you feel it in your low back, then bend the knee until the pain goes away. To release the pose, keep the leg lifted, inhale the arm up, and exhale the hand and leg back down. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana side 2. Shift the weight to your right foot and bend the left knee. Once again, decide how far to go with the pose. You want to challenge yourself slightly because that's how you stay healthy and grow. However, if you add too much challenge, there is no growth, and also potentially you can injure yourself. To release the pose, keep the leg lifted, inhale the arm up, and exhale arm and leg back to the ground. With the next inhalation, draw arms up, touch palms, and lift the heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, crow pose, or even handstand, and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, bring your feet to touch and inhale the right leg up and back. As you exhale, place the foot on the outside of the hands and drop down into the lizard pose. Once again, the hips are as far forward and down as they can go, the right heel under the right knee, but the torso is dropped down as low as it can go inside of the right leg. This is Utthan Pristhasana, or the lizard pose. Now place the hands back on the ground. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale as you lunge, and inhale to crescent lunge, Ashta Chandrasana. Also, high lunge is the name of this pose. In Ashta Chandrasana, make sure that your front foot and knee point straight ahead. The knee lunges directly over the heel. The right thigh approaches parallel with the ground. The left hip draws forward. The left leg is straight back behind you, and the left heel is reaching toward the ground. The arms are straight up and back, framing the ears, palms facing one another. From Ashta Chandrasana, exhale either to the bottom of your push-up, or if you know your arm balances, you can do Ekapada Bakasana, first variation. Exhale, shoot to the bottom of a push-up, and then Vinyasa, making your way back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale, lift the left leg behind you, and exhale as you come into lizard pose. Close your eyes and breathe into the sensations that you feel in your left hip and leg. With each breath, feel how the sensations begin to dissolve and melt. Then, placing hands back on the ground, inhale the leg up and back for three-legged dog pose. Exhale and lunge, and inhale to crescent lunge, Ashta Chandrasana. Find your edge. Now take a deep breath and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, or Ekapada Bakasana, first variation. From downward facing dog, exhale to hands and knees. Now we come to the classic bird dog pose. Inhale, lift the right leg and simultaneously the left arm. Exhale, bring them back down. Inhale, alternate to the opposite arm and leg. Exhale, return to tabletop. Then continue with each breath, alternating sides. Once again, imagine 2 cups of tea, very full. One balancing on your pelvis and the other between your shoulder blades. Try and keep these 2 parts of your body as stable and steady as you are physically able to do. Finishing with the left leg behind you. Once again, vinyasa, or go straight back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale to the toes, and as you exhale, step, jump, or float to the front edge of your mat. Inhale to Anuvritasana, and exhale, hands to your hips. Once again, shifting weight to your left foot, bend the right knee. Drawing the right leg up, grab hold of the shin or foot, big toe. If you're going to extend the leg, do so with an exhalation. Take another deep breath, and whether the leg is straight or bent, with the next exhale, bring the leg out to the right and extend your arm to the left. For more challenge, look out over your left fingertips. Inhale, return to center, and exhale, release the leg. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, second variation, side 2. Inhale, draw the leg back in, and exhale, release. Inhale, draw the arms up, touch palms, and lift the heart, standing back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, bring your feet to touch and inhale the right leg up and back. As you exhale, place the foot into lizard pose. This time, take your right leg and put it over your shoulder like you're putting on a backpack. Then place both hands slightly wider than shoulders, under the shoulders with the elbows bent. Look up and with an inhale, lift your right leg up, straightening it as much as possible. See if you can get your right heel off the ground. Exhale, place the foot back on the ground and then inhale to three-legged dog pose. Exhale and lunge. Inhale to crescent lunge. And as you exhale, kick off the back leg for warrior three. Lift the back leg up and flex the foot, pointing the toes, knee, and hip straight toward the ground, just like in three-legged dog pose. Have your torso and arms parallel with the ground. Keep that left leg lifting. For more challenge, bend the right knee. Feel that leg begin to fatigue. Take a deep breath in and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, bring the feet to touch. Inhale the left leg up and back, and exhale to lizard pose. Once you're in lizard, again, take the left leg, put it over your shoulder. Place the hands under the shoulders, and inhale. Try and lift the left foot off the ground, even if it doesn't lift. Make your best effort. Exhale, place that foot back down and inhale to three-legged dog pose. Exhale, lunge, and inhale to crescent lunge. Exhale to Virabhadrasana III. For additional challenge, bend the standing leg. Take a deep breath, exhale, bottom of your push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath in, and with your next exhale, release to tabletop. This time, see if you can lift your knees so that they're level with your heels. Shin bones parallel with the ground. The next inhale, try lifting the right leg and the left arm. Exhale, return them to the ground, and then inhale to the other side. Exhale. This is called elevated bird dog pose. Once again, try and do the pose without allowing the hip or the shoulder to dip or raise. As you can see, I'm not able to do this. The point is not to do the pose perfectly, but The effort to do the pose as best as we can helps us stay healthy and strong. Finish up with the left leg lifted, and then make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale to the toes as you fill your lungs, and exhale, make your way to the front edge of your mat. Inhale all the way to standing back bend, and exhale your hands to your hips. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, third variation. Shift weight to your left foot, bend the right knee. This time, instead of holding the shin or the foot with your right hand, do so with your left hand. Just as before, stand tall. With your next exhalation, bring the right arm behind you as you look back toward the thumb. If you are able, add straightening your right leg out in front of you. Inhale, come on back to center, and exhale, release the pose. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana C, side 2. Inhale back to center, and exhale, release the pose. Inhale to standing back bend, and then exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, bottom of the push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. In downward dog, let's bring our feet to touch. We're going to inhale the right leg up and back. As we exhale, let's take that leg as high up on the right arm as we can, resting it on the bent arm. Straighten the leg and lift the back leg for Ekapada Koundinyasana, first variation. Then, inhale the right leg up and back, and as you exhale, lunge. Inhale to crescent lunge, exhale to warrior 3. Then from Virabhadrasana III, exhale to standing splits. Point your left toes toward the ceiling, keeping your left leg straight. Walk your hands toward your standing leg and grab that leg with one or both hands. Keep bringing the right side of your abdomen closer to your right thigh as you lift your left leg even higher toward the ceiling. Inhale and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, bring feet to touch and inhale the left leg up and back. As you exhale,
place that leg on your left arm and lift the right leg up behind you for Ekapada Koundinyasana, first variation. Then inhale the left leg up and back and exhale as you lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, and exhale, warrior three. Take a deep breath in warrior three and then exhale to standing splits. Again, keep walking your hands closer and closer to the standing leg until perhaps you can grab that leg with one or both hands. Feel the stretch in the back of your left thigh as you lift your right leg even higher. Inhale, lift, and exhale, bottom of the push-up, making your way back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, exhale to tabletop position. In tabletop, take a plank, and with your next inhalation in plank, lift the right leg and the left arm. Exhale, put them down, and inhale, alternate to the other arm and leg. This is the plank bird dog pose. Once again, imagine that you have the teacups, one between the shoulder blades and one resting on the pelvis. Finish with the left leg lifted, and exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale to the toes, and exhale to the front edge of your mat. Inhale to standing back bend, and exhale as you bend over. Once bent over, walk your legs out wider than shoulder width. Then bend down and take each leg over the shoulder just like they were straps on a backpack. Drop the hips down and place the hands with fingers facing forward just behind your feet. Lift your gaze and try lifting one leg as we did before. Then try lifting the opposite leg. And if you're able, try lifting both legs together. This is called firefly or Titibhasana. If you're already familiar with this posture and it's relatively easy, you can add a challenge by trying to jump back to the bottom of a push-up from your firefly pose. And then you can vinyasa from there, making your way back to downward facing dog. From downward dog, let's exhale to a child pose. In child, with the arms extended out in front of you, with your exhale, walk your hands to the left until you feel a stretch in your right waist and ribs. Inhale back through center and exhale over to the other side. Inhale back to center. Exhale here. And then inhale up to tabletop, cross the ankles, and exhale as you sit back. Inhale, extend the legs and the arms, and with the next exhale, gradually roll back onto your back. Once you're there, bend both knees and place the feet below your knees with your knees and your feet hip distance apart. Place the palms down alongside the hips, and with your next inhalation, draw your hips up for bridge pose. Once in bridge, interlace the fingers, join the palms, shrug one shoulder under and then the other. Now try lifting the hips even higher. Take one last deep breath, and as you exhale, gradually let your hips come back down. Drop your knees in against one another and relax. Then draw the legs in and give them a nice squeeze. Try rocking back and forth, side to side, or make some circles with your knees. Then extend the arms out to the sides like a T. And with your next exhalation, draw your legs to the left as you look to your right. Close your eyes and let your breath be natural now. Inhale your knees back through center and exhale them off to the other side. Look away from the knees and relax. Inhale, return knees back to center. Grab the soles of your feet for happy baby. Pulling down on the feet, extending the legs one at a time or both together, pulling them apart or overhead, rolling around on your back, stretching your hips and legs. Use this pose to help you relax and release any lingering tension in your body. When you're ready to relax, come onto your back and allow your legs to come apart, toes to splay out to the sides comfortably, arms by your sides at an angle, palms turned up, head centered, chin tucked in slightly, and eyes closed. This pose is called Savasana. And for the next few minutes, just allow your body to rest in stillness in this pose.
All right, I hope you really enjoyed that class. Hopefully it challenged you some, and hopefully you had a good time as well. Please again, leave me a comment below if you have any questions. What was your most challenging posture? I'd love to hear. What was the one that you enjoyed the most? Maybe they're the same, maybe they're different. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. We have yoga classes, music for meditation, kirtan, and other goodies for you on the channel here. So please subscribe. If you want to help support the channel financially, please check out the Patreon page. The links are below. Thanks again, guys. I want to thank you for all the support you've been giving me, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.